Not really talking directly to you guys like I am now. I'm very comfortable and I feel just chilled, and I felt like it lost its vibe. I'm going to be completely honest with you here. Okay, are we live? We are live, people. Hello people, and welcome back to the Ricky2ra Podcast, episode 76, I want to say. Episode 76. I hope you guys are doing well. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. This will be released just before 2024, but if you're watching after, then Happy New Year to you all. Guys, this is going to be just a thank you podcast episode, a recap episode, and a reflection episode. This is off the cuff, and I'm going to get straight into it right now. So, Ricky, what are you going to talk about here, mate? Because I'm not seeing anything magic related or anything in the title. Well, people, since this is the last episode of 2023 that I will be recording, I just wanted to reflect and say a massive thank you to every single person that watches the videos or listens to the podcasts online. I really could not think of anything else to do in this moment of time than doing a podcast episode and knowing that somebody has listened to it or watched it. And I've shouted this man out before, but I'm going to shout you out again, Callum Gamble. Honestly, mate, your feedback from and your constructive criticism that you give me really motivates me and makes me want to try and improve the podcast every single time. So for those that don't know this man, I'm going to put all of his links in the description below. He's helped me a lot with, kind of doing the structure of this podcast and just giving me great advice and just his opinion. And that's what friends are for at the end of the day. So if you don't have people like that around you, then you might want to, go out and find them, really. So I just want to get that off of my mind first, but I really do thank everybody that watches the podcast episodes. I'm going to tell you a little story why I actually started this whole podcast episode. Not now, like in the past few months since I've started again. I mean, just why I started this in the whole first place in 2020. Now, I was watching Gary Vee a lot, like very, very heavily since 2017. And I've been thinking about doing podcasts at that moment of time. Just in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, should I start a podcast? If I was to start a podcast, what would I do? And I'd always think about it, but I wouldn't do it. And then when the pandemic hit and I had nothing else to do, the shop wasn't really open as much, and I had a crap load of free time just to burn. And I thought to myself, well, I've got my camera here. Normally I film my magic with it. Why don't I just film myself and just talk? Because with me working in a shop, I talk to so many people on different walks of life every day. And I feel like I've become good at just talking to people. Just a bit of chit-chat, a bit of small talk, like a good 5-minute talk. So I said to myself, why don't I just do a 5-minute talk to the camera? Just a bit of an introduction to myself, kind of like I'm just talking to a customer in the shop, really, about what I do. So that's the reason why I started episode 1, really, just an introduction to myself. Now, I can't remember the actual length of that video, but it was a short video, very, very short. Under 5 minutes, I'd like to say. And I wanted to get the dice rolling. I wanted to just start off small and then slowly I'd go large in the duration of the video, and obviously more to talk about. So that was the one thing I knew I had in my arsenal, but I hadn't really took advantage of it until 2020 when I decided to record episode 1. Because I feel like I'm good at talking to a camera. I just didn't have the experience under my belt doing it consistently. Like, I perform magic on camera, but I'm not really talking directly to you guys like I am now. I'm very comfortable and I feel just chilled, just talking to you guys and you guys listening to me. And back then I couldn't really do that properly, but I knew I had it. I just had to work on it. So it was very much more easy for me to tell my experiences than to rather tell people on what to do about magic. Reason being is because you don't know me properly, and I didn't really know my audience back then as well. So the only thing I knew to talk about was magic, but not from an expert point of view or a professional point of view. It was just my experience. So I thought, why not just talk to the camera, to you, and just tell you guys about myself so you get to know a little bit more about me. Because you'd only seen the magic, you've not really seen the man behind the magic. That would be a great podcast name, by the way, the man behind the magic. So that's why I just consistently started to do podcasts. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I ran out of ideas very quick. And this is just me like reflecting on like the whole podcast, how it's evolved over time, and it's beautiful talking about it in this stage, reflecting onto the beginning stage, because I did run out of stuff to talk about and I didn't really think about it that deep. Whereas now I'm doing different episodes weekly for you guys to take in. But I didn't really know what to say after a good 20-30 episodes, and I felt like it lost its vibe to it. I started talking more about TV shows and movies. And don't get me wrong, I was watching a load of TV shows and movies back then because obviously with the pandemic I had nothing else to do. I was just working in here and then a bit of magic. I wasn't performing at gigs obviously, and I was just watching a load of TV shows. So I kind of drifted towards more what I was doing at that moment of time, and I felt like it got repetitive and just boring. And I remember Cal, my mate Cal, who I've shouted out at the start of this video, he said to me it wasn't very enthusiastic. I was just talking and I wasn't really engaging with the viewer. And this is why Cal's such a great guy, because he told me that. And when I restarted my whole podcast again a few months ago, I took that into consideration as well. Because if I was talking to you guys like, yeah guys, and I was just reflecting on the podcasts from the start, and I feel like I've got more energetic. To be honest with you, I feel like do you know, if I started talking like that, it'd be absolutely dog shite, and I wouldn't have learned anything. So I've learned from that too, and coming from then to now, I feel like I've improved immensely, but I feel like I can improve a lot more. So that's just a little quick story from how it started and where we are. So I feel like it's only fair to talk about where we're going. I'm going to be honest with you, I've totally said this before. We're reaching to 100 episodes. We're on 76 now. We've not got long left, another 24 episodes left, so that's another 24 weeks you guys have got to put up with me. And I'm constantly thinking of episodes and things to say, and I feel like I'm not a teacher. I explain things from my experience, and that's up to you guys, for the magicians, for the casual viewers, for anybody. But obviously you guys know that I'm a shopkeeper and I'm a magician, so it just makes sense to talk about magic. And I've not really talked much about the shop topics in depth in this rebirth kind of phase that I'm in from September. However, it potentially could be something in the future, because it does make sense. I am in the shop, and maybe I could invite people on perhaps. These are just ideas I've not really took action on at this moment in time, but I'm just saying that perhaps sometime in the future, as we evolve, that could potentially happen. And that's just all on me, really. It is called the Ricky2ra Podcast at the end of the day, and I'm the main man for this show. But it's good to switch it up every now and again, and I do like to switch it up every now and again as well. So yeah, that's potentially where we could be going. But the number one goal is we're going to hit 100 episodes, and I did say this before I stopped we are going to hit 100 episodes, and when we do, honestly guys, I couldn't really do it without people, without either one person just watching the video, or just one of my mates just saying, you know, Ricky, this is great, but you can improve on this, because it just shows that you've got at least one person there supporting you. Now, I'm not saying that I'd just stop if nobody got it, nobody watched, because I'm not doing this for views. I'm just doing this to get back into the rhythm, which I feel like I have done, and just want to improve on my speaking skills and my topic and my whole YouTube game. I really want to improve on that as well, so there's another insider for you there. However, I feel like every episode I record, I feel like I'm getting better, and I hope that shows across on camera to you. I felt like I wanted to talk about one other thing before we wrap up here, guys, because I am talking about this on top of my head. I've not got my notepad on me here today, because I said to myself, you know what, we did the Dynamo is Dead episode last week, and Christmas has been. I hope you guys had a lovely Christmas. So Christmas has been, and I'm filming this before New Year, so I thought, you know what, let's just get an extra one in before 2024. So yeah, that was it. I just literally said it and I slid past it. Dynamo is Dead. Guys, I literally just checked that video before I hit record, and it's on 100 views, so I really appreciate it. I understand Dynamo's hot at the moment again, and it's probably going all over YouTube like his name and stuff, so that's a big contributor in that as well. But it's my first video that's hitting the 100 views in a very, very long time. So for all of you that have watched that and seen that, listened to that, I really do, and I mean I really do appreciate that as well. I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet, just like last week's episode. However, a big thank you again to each and every single one of you that listened to this. Like I said before, I hope you had a lovely Christmas, and I wish you all the best. I really do wish you all the best for 2024, and let me know in the comments below if you're doing anything interesting for New Year. I'd love to know. I could possibly do something myself, I'm not sure yet, but time will tell. But guys, thank you so much for supporting me this year. Even though we started in September again, honestly, the people that have come up to me and said something or just left a comment, it really means a lot to me. We're going to keep improving on this podcast episode, and I promise you I'm not going to be leaving again, because I really want to up my YouTube game. So boys and girls, ladies, gentlemen, whoever you are, thank you so much for tuning in this year. And guys, I will see you in 2024, in the new year. Guys, this has been your boy Ricky2ra. Peace, stay strong, and remember always, follow your dreams.